Okay, I've got an idea for something that scares the shit out of me. And it's a concept I saw on TikTok probably like 3 years ago, and I haven't seen it done since. So, in April, every day, the goal is to get rejected in some way. Asking for a free meal when you go out to eat. In the surf, asking to like swap boards with someone I've never met and use theirs for a bit. Basically anything where you expect the answer to be no. And for me, there's probably not many things I would find harder to do than that. But the whole point of it and why I call it rejection therapy is because it forces you to realize that most of the time, 99% of the time, nothing bad actually happens at all when you get rejected. If you can get rejected regularly and realize that it's really not that bad, what else would you try? If like failure was as simple as just the word no, with no pain attached to that, what else would you ask for? Asking a question like that where you might get rejected, for me at least, that kind of fear of failure, fear of rejection definitely makes it a big anxiety builder. And I think this challenge would be a great way to like hit that head on. And also I think it'll be really entertaining. So if you like the sound of this, please go down to the comment section right now and type anything where you think I'll get rejected. Something like that you'd always want to ask, but you know the answer is just going to be no. Like maybe going to the supermarket, asking the manager if you can get a tour of like the warehouse out the back. I don't know. I'd love to get some suggestions and fill up the April calendar with a piece of rejection therapy every day to do. Yeah, so if people want this, I'll do it. If no one really cares, I might not, but I think it'll be a good challenge for me. And I'm definitely very scared of it. So if you like the sound of this, you got to go straight to my TikTok and Instagram and follow me right now so you can watch these, because I'm not going to put them on YouTube. They suit a short form version. So that's where they're going to be. Insta, TikTok, go check them out. April, rejection month. Great. So on the topic of fear of rejection, I think the fear of failure fits in quite nicely. And for me, it's recently looked like my marathon prep. For the last 3 to 4 weeks, my running's been reduced quite heavily by some back and foot pain, which has thrown my training program into the air a bit. Instead of having my long runs up to like 20 to 25 Ks now, I'm back down to like 8 to 10. And I'm having to do this mobility work like 2 to 3 times a day just to keep the body under control. My initial plans of how I was going to prepare and like how I'd perform on the day are pretty up in the air now. And I guess I've just been a bit worried about like how I'm going to go now on the day. But a better thing to think about is, what does failure actually look like? I know that I'm fit enough to finish the race. So worst case scenario, my back gets sore, it slows me down quite a bit, and I just do worse than I was hoping originally. Will the sun come up the next day still? Probably. Will the earth keep spinning? I think so. The worst outcome is rarely as bad as you catastrophize in your head. So my focus, instead of ruminating on what could go wrong, is just to do my best and to realize that the worst case scenario isn't nearly as bad as I make it up in my head to be. And to be honest, I can't wait for the challenge of this marathon. It's been a great discipline builder, and I've really enjoyed becoming a better runner over the last couple months. The more I think about failure, the more I realize that worrying about it is just turning small problems into bigger problems. And I think this fear of failing comes from not being able to sit with a certain degree of uncertainty. Like when you don't know what's going to happen, that's when you have the chance to think about the possibilities, and the chance to think about the possibilities of something bad happening. And you've got that chance to think about what's the worst possible thing and then blow that up into something that is probably never going to happen. And I think we run away from this uncertainty with not following the thing that we really think is meant for us if we're not sure how it's going to go. Whether that looks like staying in university instead of trying something that is actually better pursuing outside of it. Not doing something because you're worried about what others will think of you, even though it's something that deep down you want to do. The catch is that uncertainty is like not only necessary, but that's the part of it that makes it exciting, fun, and gives it meaning in the first place. If you knew exactly what was going to happen in every single situation, I just can't see that having any power in the moment, any relief, joy, kind of amazement at when something great happens. I mean, if you knew it was going to happen the whole time, then why would you even care at all? So I think uncertainty is closely tied to meaning in the first place. So if you can find a way to embrace that uncertainty and realize that's where the fun is, that's where the magic in, I guess, life is, I mean, then you're free to go explore things that have meaning. So I guess with all of this, one of my goals the whole time really has been to not be swayed by the fear of failure, to not be deterred by uncertainty. And I think this fear of rejection test that I'm probably going to do in April will be a great way to just show that in action. So yeah, I guess I don't know what's coming, and that's probably the number one reason for me to be so excited. Thank you so much for watching. My name's Sam. This is Dropout Diaries. In a little bit over a month, we'll be back traveling the world. I'll see you next week.